The year is negative 100,000. Humans have been showing their asses for about 100,000 years now, but they're just here. And one of them thinks, what if me go up? Then they told a whole bunch of people their theory, which was they could go and chase their food. So that's what they do. They go north. Some are too much of a coward to head on, so they settle in Mesopotamia. Then the ones who think they're edgy head on. Most of them settled in Italy and not Italy. The Greeks came up with a lot of crap, including how to figure out things about a triangle. The Greeks then made their own religion. Then the Romans decided to take their idea. The Greeks noticed that the Romans are being copycats. They then tell on the Romans to the Slavs, but the Slavs put the Greeks in timeout for being a tattletale. The Greeks get so pissed that they drop off the face of the earth. The Romans thought they were so cool that they tried to eat the whole universe for brunch. The Huns, Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and some Slav tribes said, that's bullshit, fucking bullshit. So they want to beat the piss out of the Romans. The Slavs think that they're super edgy, so they take over most of Europe. Hey, that's not fair, said the Visigoths very quietly. What was that? The Slavs asked. Nothing, the Visigoths said, peeing their pants. Now the Aryan people are Albanian. People decide to move east of the Ural Mountains. They have a debate on whether or not it's cold. It's cold, they decide. Then all of Europe decides whether or not they hate the Romans. They decide they hate the Romans. The Romans get pissed about this, of course, so they invade Slav territory. And that territory becomes Romania. That's what we were waiting for. Romania scares Ukraine. Then Ukraine asks Russia if they can live in their house for now. Okay, says Russia. Then the Mongols try to take over Russia. The Russians hissed at them so intensely they backed away, only like a millimeter though. Then most of Europe becomes Christian, except for a small part of Romania, who like the idea of Judaism much more. Boleslaw the Brave decides to take over parts of the Slavic Empire. Then he dies. Then the Germans take over the Polish Empire. When the Western European Jews decide to move to Poland, the Mongols fell from the sky and invaded lots of Europe. They stole a bunch of stuff, then they combusted. Oops, half of Europe just died. They should probably deny it. Transylvania has all the power in Romania. Romania has a new prince. He's going to be great. Oops, Vlad just killed someone. Matter of fact, he killed a lot of people. Vlad decides to slay some Turks. The Turks get mad and call up Hungary and tell Hungary to murder Vlad's older brother. So the Hungarians killed Vlad's brother. Vlad then married someone to hide the fact that he was secretly gay. Then Vlad died. A whole bunch of Europeans leave to go to the New World. It's super great. Oh, the 1600s. You know what that means. Vampires. And they're super edgy. Oh, look at those fangs. Oh, the 1800s. It's time for Russia to care a lot about ballet and how they look in the media. Europe becomes one with the Gothic era. Except for Russia, because they don't feel like it. Then the Russians go to war with Japan for stealing their warm water. A guy named Bram Stoker is so impressed with a dead Romanian guy that he makes a book about that dead Romanian guy. Then it becomes a movie. After that, the Russians throw a hissy fit because they aren't getting paid the same. The government gives in to their commands and they become the USSR. It's pretty great. But then they go bankrupt. World War I time. A bunch of countries fight. Then the USSR and Germany hook up. A guy named Hitler, whose mustache was just sharpied on, decides to spin a wheel to see who gets to blame the loss of World War I on. Spoiler alert, it's the Jews. Poland gets invaded by Germany. Damn, says Poland. The Soviets get attacked by the Germans, so they break up with Germany. They say, it's just not working out. A Georgian guy named Stalin is so obsessed with throwing people into the gulag that he gets thrown into the gulag and dies. The Soviets get into war with the Romanians. They sign a piece of paper and stop fighting. The USSR and their ex, the US, have the competition to see who can find hell first. The US gets bored and stops, but the USSR goes on. That is until they can't go any further. It's the Ode to Hell. It's in the Kamchatka Peninsula. The USSR gets lazy and breaks up. Russia then becomes super edgy and forms the KGB. Ugh, says Stalin, who's tired of being dead. Like, 9.8% of Europe doesn't have money. But Luxembourg and Liechtenstein don't want to give up their money. By the way, where the hell is Europe?